Hi guys, welcome to Monday, May 4th. May the 4th be with you. This is a great day in the fandom. I love this day, and I plan to watch the movies when this day actually happens for me. It's April 27th while I'm recording this video, but on the actual May 4th for me, I plan on watching the movies. Uh, Hopefully I'll have the time, crossing fingers. Um, but yeah, so welcome to Monday. Wake up. Welcome to week 6. I can't believe we're here already. It's the last final haul, I think, really, for this course, which means we're introing final presentations. If we were in the class, it would be group presentations, but seeing as though group presentations are really not applicable at this time, and I want to make this as easy as a process for you guys as possible, and I just don't think that either forcing you guys into groups that I assign or having you guys scramble to email each other to form groups, that sounds really messy and not very applicable, as I've said before. So there are going to be presentations that are formatted pretty much the same way, but you will be working on them individually, and also the time requirements for this presentation will also be cut down. Usually it's 20 to 25 minutes because it's a group presentation with a lot of information. But seeing as though you guys are going to be working by yourselves, I cut it down to about a 10 to 15 minute presentation. If it goes over, that's totally okay. But I want to make sure that you guys don't feel super stressed to fill a hugely major time period by yourselves, which means that I also will not wholly downgrade you for having less information, even though the requirements are the same, such as how much research you have to do and what points I want you to cover. If you guys were in a group, I would expect way more information and a bigger, I guess, a more quality job, if you will. And while I still expect you guys to do work and work hard on this, don't be worried about being graded super harshly either. Alright, so let's go into the requirements first. As you can see, it's still called group presentation. Thought I edited that, but apparently not. But I edited it on this part, so that is awesome. So your final presentation project is worth 150 points, and like I said, do not stress. I know that's a big number. It's the NWTC number. It's the number I will be following because of that. But again, online grading is so much different from how I would be grading you if you were in the classroom and doing this as a group. This is individual. Again, though, the expectations are the same, just a little bit more watered down. For the purpose, you will work individually to create an oral presentation on a culture other than your own. This presentation will display effective communication patterns that have been discussed throughout the class. All those communication patterns and such that we've been discussing on how to communicate your skills will be looked at for this presentation. The duration is a 10 to 15 minute lesson to the class, or pretty much to me, because we will be I have two options for you guys. You guys can record this beforehand and just send me the link of you recording it, or multiple links if, like me, you have a window where you can't record over a certain amount of time and have to create multiple videos. However, if you choose this option, I will be asking you questions after I watch your videos and to make sure that you know all the information that I want you to know, and you'll have to email me back any answers to any of the questions that I have. On the flip side, if you go with option 2, which is a live video feed with me, you just presenting the options, then I can ask the questions right after your presentation is all through, and we can get it done and it'll be just all squared away right there live. I suggest this option. I prefer this option. But again, I understand if you just want to record a video beforehand. And we'll go through the sign-up sheet and how to do that and how to schedule these with me after I go through these expectations. So this is a lot, but I want to read it through with you just so that I can comment on everything. Usually I allow you to read longer things by yourselves, but again, I really want to hit the points of this because this is a major project. This is your major assessment. Expectations. Research a co-culture different from your own that you interact with on a daily basis. If you work with or are neighbors of people who are from a different culture, you may want to choose to learn about that culture. Remember that in addition to race, diversity may also include gender, age, sexual orientation, regional affiliations, and ethnic backgrounds. So like it says, co-culture doesn't necessarily mean just a different race from you. It can be a different gender from you, a different age group, a different sexual orientation, regional affiliation, or ethnic background. Be specific. Don't be broad. You can't just pick Native American. You have to be more specific. Pick a tribe. Pick a specific Native American group. A person from Mexico was raised in a different culture than a person from Ecuador or Guatemala. A Native American from one tribe may have been raised in a culture far different from the culture of another tribe. Some examples could include cultures related to Somalia, Hmong, Mexican, Guatemalan, Oneida, Menominee, non-traditional students, African Americans, Muslims, Latter-day Saints, gay, lesbian, transgender, veterans, or a variety of other options. Choose one that you want to learn more about because you communicate with them. Do not choose one you know a lot about already. Try to challenge yourself. This whole process is about learning something new and taking that learning of that new culture and learning more about it because you interact with people of this culture on a daily basis. The purpose is to provide your audience with an informed cross-cultural perspective and the critical thinking skills needed for interacting with this culture. You will gain an understanding of the concept of culture, both your own and the other country's culture, basic intercultural communication skills, and how to function and get the most out of life in a different culture. I would like this to become an applicable, informative presentation for your audience that your audience could use if they were to interact with this culture. Your audience pretty much being me in this case. You can explore topics such as stereotypes, identity, culture, and how it shapes people, anti-Americanism, and culture shock. You could also examine some of the culture's key values, experiences with the United States, notable achievements, do's and taboos, and the communication patterns, verbal and nonverbal. Your presentation should include at least 3 different methods of presenting, such as visuals, handouts, slideshows, games, lecture, demonstrations, group activities, etc. After finding the material you need to organize it for your presentation, decide with your group members how to best present it. Oh, I forgot to take that group members part out. I tried to get all the group members part, but you need to organize your thoughts on how to present it best to me. I strongly encourage you to be creative and try something different. So these 3 methods of presenting, I really want to go into this. This is super nice. A thing about online learning is that you can create these presentations and or these different visuals, and you don't have to print them out, such as handouts or games. You can seriously create them and just send me those documents and done. You don't have to print them out and hand out all these print-offs to your fellow students so that they have them. You just create one and done. So, and then demonstrations. That might include demonstrations of an activity that they do, or maybe even some of their language. You can maybe learn a little couple of their basic terms like hello, goodbye, how are you, just normal day-to-day necessary terms, and that can be a demonstration for me. Handouts can include little trifold handouts, you know, like little things that you see. I'm blanking on the word right now. And just given information maybe about this part of the culture, like things that you will discuss, but it breaks it down a little more. So you'll still be going over these visuals and how they work and how they connect, but the handouts could include just a handout about the games that they like to play. And list them and describe them on this handout. And then a slideshow. I recommend this to be one of your 3 methods of presenting, just because I think this will help you guide you through and keep you moving on to your point, to every point you want to discuss. So I suggest that that's at least one of yours. It doesn't have to be. That's just my suggestion, because I think slideshows make it a presentation more organized and help it flow better. Also, visuals can also include videos. So you can show me a video or just send me that video so I can watch it. And when you're presenting to me, just say, this is when I would show the video, and this is how this video connects to it because, and give reference to the video and how it connects to the culture you're presenting on. And I will watch that video at a later time just so that I can connect back to it. So yes, but do not repeat. You can't say 2 videos and that's 2 of your methods. It has to be 3 different methods, all right? Okay, almost done. Shake it off. I know this sounds a little overwhelming right now, but you guys can do it. I know you can. And then requirements. So these are the 3 requirements. Usually this third one would be a group performance review where you review your group members, but I changed it to an individual performance review because I want to know how you guys think you did, and honestly, how you guys did. And that will affect your score because it's part of what you'll be turning in. So the first thing is an outline. I will be giving you guys an example outline, which NWTC provided me with, and it's not exactly how you would be doing it, because their outline is a presentation when the presentations were a little different, but it still gives you the basic outline of what you should be doing and how to outline a speech. And then reference page. So the reference page has to be an MLA format and has to have at least 3 outside resources in addition to your textbook. So obviously you're using your textbook. You need to reference that because another document I'm going to show you next is I'm going to be showing you, I think Tuesday or Wednesday, is how to break down your when you're like overwhelmed. These are the questions you should be asking yourself about this culture, and it's broken down by the chapters that we've read. And a couple chapters we didn't read, so if you don't use those chapters, I totally understand. But if you want to use those chapters, again, it has those questions that you should ask yourself when you're researching the culture. And so that should be in your MLA format, citing that. And then 3 other outside resources. That includes books, magazines, journals, internet articles, sources found through database searches, databases which you have on your Green Bay Launchpad, which I'm hovering over. The Launchpad, you have search engines that you can use. I will go over them at a later date just so that you guys can explore them if you're not sure and you haven't been on them before. I think by now, seeing as though you're seniors, except for I think 2 of you, which are juniors, you should be familiar with these search engines, and that each of those articles that you find on those search engines can be considered outside resources. And also you can use personal interviews as well. So if you know someone from this culture and that's why you did it because that's what you're supposed to be doing, you can interview them. Not in person, but maybe over the phone or via something like this. Okay, this video is about to end, so stay tuned for part 2.